Good.
I'm excited about today.
Me too, me too. Thank you for coming. Kevin, good
Good
morning.
morning. Good
How are
morning, Jill. Good morning,
Good
Eddie.
morning, Kevin.
how are you today, Kevin?
I am well. I have a sore ear, but I am well.
It will pass. Maybe it's too cold, no?
Yeah, maybe.
It happens when it's cold. Would you like to share with us something before we start? Is there something on your mind, on your heart that you wish to share before we start a conversation today?
Not yet.
Not yet. Thank you. And here's Charles. Good afternoon, Charles. I hope you can hear us. Good afternoon. And if you have an access to the concept board, tell me that we could start our conversation. Do you have an access, Jill?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, yes.
I am
And
trying to open it now.
yes. And Charles, do you have an access to the concept board?
Shalom Eti, Shalom
Shalom.
Jill, Shalom Kevin.
Shalom, shalom.
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 I'm not seeing it here on YouTube.
You don't have, you don't see the concept board on YouTube window?
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
It is appearing already. It's alive for 1 minute 38.9 seconds. So try to refresh the page and see if you can see it, because
Okay.
it is broadcasting. Maybe there's a delay, but it is definitely.
Okay,
Thank
what
you.
is the topic for today?
Today is saying grace. This is the topic of the day, and I would like to ask for those who already see the concept board. What would you like to start with? We have two paintings and verse from Psalms. And good morning, Victor. Good afternoon, Victoria. And good morning, Nadelia. Good morning. Nice to see you here on YouTube. I'm very happy that you're here. All of us are happy. All of us. So if you see from far also Victoria, Charles, and Nadalia, you see two paintings and one verse, and everybody can here speak, meaning say what he wishes or she wishes. What would you like to start with? Painting on the right, painting on the middle, or verses from Psalms? Everybody can participate. Jill, Kevin, Charles, Victoria, Nedalia, Anaia, what is your choice? What would you like to start with today?
I would say painting on the right.
Please, s'il vous plaît. 1 second. Yes, painting on the right. This is painting a little girl looking downstairs at Christmas by Norman, Christmas party by Norman Rockwell. Yes, I hope I said it right. Here, it's in the center. I hope YouTube also, you have the center. Here it's a bit, it is, I'm trying to look at the other screen to see what you see on YouTube. Yes, who would like to share with us? What do we see here? 1 second, I would like that you will see everything, including the doll, because YouTube, I'm sorry, the frame, we have to rebuild the blue frame on YouTube, that it will conceive already the doll, because I'm trying to, sorry Jill for the delay, because I'm trying that people on YouTube, they will have a perspective of the picture, because there's a blue frame that covers the sides of the picture. So I hope now they can see. I'm tuning music. So please, Jill, what do we see? Try to describe. And Nedelia, Anya, I don't know how to express your name. Victoria, please help me. Please participate. Charles, what do we see? Kevin?
I just see a little girl sitting at the top of the steps with her doll beside her. Looks like it may be Christmas time. And she's looking downstairs. It looks like the rug. Um, Maybe that's not a rug. It looks like maybe there's a party downstairs.
Hmm. And now I will ask questions, and everybody's also welcome to ask questions and to write or to speak, say his impressions. The doll which is next to her, does it seem to you like a handmade doll? Can
Yeah.
it be? Okay. And usually the doll is a very good friend of the girl. But at the moment, the doll is dropped by her side because something is much more maybe interesting is happening. Could it be? Because
It
usually,
looks,
yes,
yeah, it looks like she's more interested in the party and the
she's,
group of people versus the doll.
yes, yes, that's true. Please look at the structure, the spiral structure around the girl. So to speak, this is the staircase. Do you see a familiar structure? I will move with the cursor. Do you see the cursor on YouTube or only on the concept board do you see it?
I do not see it on YouTube.
You do not see it. So where's the cursor? You don't see the cursor. Okay. Why is that so? Maybe I'm on the wrong. Now, can you see the cursor, Kevin? There is no cursor?
I saw something flash for a second, and then it disappeared.
Please help me if you see the cursor because I don't have
Yes,
it.
I can see it
You
around
see?
the photo, yeah.
You see? But on YouTube we don't see the cursor where I'm pointing at.
It will appear for a second into the corner or to the right, but I don't see it actually on the picture.
Okay. So, Jill, you are able to see the cursor. Yes?
I'm I'm able to see it on the whiteboard, but for
Mm.
some reason my whiteboard won't really open up. So I'm looking at it also on YouTube.
Okay.
I mean, it won't expand
I
for
see
me.
it on the concept board, but not on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is no. I see your cursor, Kevin. Very good, Kevin. I don't see my cursor, but I can see yours. Kevin, can you help me and move your cursor because YouTube is reflecting your cursor. Help me
Okay.
and point. Thank you so much, Felipe. Good morning, and help me move with your cursor to the structure of the stairs. Can you move? Can you move with the structure? Can you see this? Yes, move. Move a bit, the diagonal, and move upstairs. Yes, and to the right. And can you move with the cursor? There is, how do you say, keshet, arch. There is an arch. The arch that, yes, like in a church. Very good. When you look at this structure that Kevin was pointing at, do you see something familiar from this structure? Does it remind you of something?
Yes, it reminds me of a resh. It also reminds me of a lamed.
Okay, so it reminds you resh, which is the letter resh in Hebrew, which also referring to head in Aramaic or beginning,
Mhm.
because the head is the beginning. And in terms of geometrical structure, what does it remind you of, all this? When you were moving the diagonal, all of this, does it look like a spiral?
Oh, yes.
Yes, yes. So could it be, now if we don't think about the child or the little girl as a little girl, and the people as people having a party, so to speak, downstairs, what is the perspective that she is representing? Please take into consideration She is sitting almost at the top, at the head of the spiral. She doesn't play with her doll, with the physical matter. She just sitting somewhere upstairs and she's watching. Please pay attention. Can you help me, Kevin, with your cursor? Can you help me with the Kranz, how do you say, the bouquet, the Christmas bouquet on the left? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Please take all of this into consideration. The Christmas, how do you call this in English? I know the German.
The wreath?
Yes, yes. Because I know the German. Thank you. What might be her perspective? Try to think about her perspective, not dressed in a human body. Who might she be? Who might she reflect? Which perspective?
It's not coming to me at the moment.
Thank you. Victoria is writing, it could be the spiritual world in her she's dreaming of. Very close, Victoria. Okay, continue. If she's not herself, the child, what might she represent?
I guess she could represent Bina.
Yes, and continue. Yes.
She has the same address, the Christmas address in her hair, like the same color, right?
Yes. Good.
And she's a child. She has this innocent perspective.
Good.
She's not among the folk in the party, and so she's like out of the world, like
Excellent. She's like out of the world. So continue.
It's very, to me it's a very interesting picture, because it's like she's contemplating this confusion, and she's in peace, like, when child is not, I don't think she wants to go to the party, she's very happy looking at it and just contemplating, but not among those persons. And she let her doll away. She's not interested in playing with it. I don't know, I just think about it.
Good. Continue. She's contemplating. Shalom.
Shalom, Eti. Shalom, friends.
Shalom.
Shalom, Kevin. Jill, Charles, Felipe. Eti, I'm wondering if it could represent our divine soul, our neshama,
Yes.
like something.
Yeah, she's representing the divine soul. She's the divine soul that just sits in a way and contemplates. She's not interfering. She doesn't have a body. We see her.
Like the little one.
Yes. She doesn't have a body. We see like this, how do you say, a drawing from the back, but she's just the one who's watching, transparent, watching. She doesn't touch the doll. The doll is something of the matter, the world of duality. She doesn't touch the doll. The doll is at her left. She sits at the top stairs. Up there.
She's at the top step.
Yes. You see, and Kevin, can you help me with this Christmas? Can you point to a Christmas bouquet? Yes, this. Yes, it's like the bride, so to speak, a tiara. How do you call
Mm.
it? Yes, this is the soul. The soul. Why there is like a marriage between the soul and God. The soul is the bride, yeah? And God is it moves all the
On the
time.
pillar.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
So the soul, and look at the spiral. You remember that you were using your cursor to show the spiral form that we see from above, like the spiral, the shape of the spheres. There's nothing in a way direct. Everything is very moderate. Otherwise, the vessel will be how do you say? Will be broken from straight light. So everything is just going with the stairs, like a bit portion, and there's a circle, like you go in a staircase, slowly, slowly, slowly. Otherwise, the vessel will be will break from instant movement of light in it. So everything is graduated in a way. She sits in the shadow, and at the hall where the party is taking place, there's a lot of light. Please pay attention to the fact that there is almost no distance between the bodies. Look how they are glued to each other like blood cells. When we put a sample of blood under the microscope in the laboratory, the blood cells are just tack with each other. Look how people are close.
Mm.
What we call mingling. Today in the corona times, after the corona times, I wonder if we shall see this picture. This is something which is very, how do you say, typical to the 20th century. Mingling. Get connection, get your status, bring somebody's visiting card or so. Make a show. And she's not there. She's just looking. Please pay attention. She is in the shadow. She is hidden. So she is in the shadow. And they are in the light, so to speak. They are revealed. The bodies and the bodies are revealed. And the soul in the shadow is concealed. Please pay attention. She sits straight. And there's a lot of balance in her spine. She is very concentrated. She doesn't have in a way emotions, or she doesn't behave like a baby, toddler, 2-3 years old she might be. She doesn't behave like this at all. There's a full soul there in action. We think about children, that they are children, they are toddlers, or they are infants. No, there is a soul in each and every one of them. Soul that in this moment appears as baby in diapers, or soul that appears or dresses like a boy go to the kindergarten, or soul which appears like an old man walking with his stick. But in each and every one of them there is a soul in different stations in time. We usually relate to what appears. If we see boy go to the kindergarten, we shall relate to him as a 5-year-old. But there's a potential of a soul unfolded in him. So it would be better if we relate as much as possible to the potential of the soul which is hiding in his attic. Because she is the soul in the attic. She doesn't want to she doesn't want to have anything with them. Questions or impressions?
It came, I kind of see like the staircase making this invisible arrow pointing to the column.
Mm-hmm.
And also like, she's also like a column.
Yes. 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 The soul.
E.T.?
Yes, Fernando.
I'm sorry.
No.
No, please continue.
The soul is a child. The soul never gets old. The body, during the course of life, we see different appearances of a body. We see this is an old man with a stick. So the body changes. Its faces, because the body is the feminine. So it changes its face like 4 seasons of the year. It changes its form. But the soul is always young and fresh. Yes, Fernando?
Now it came other ideas, but the body is the Zug, right? Is the form, only
Yes.
and sometimes the prison of the soul, but is also the vessel.
Yes.
And I was just wondering here with this landscape, let's say, to see from a different angle. In the book of Zohar, it said that Adam could see all the generations on earth, the beginning through the end, till he saw David, and we have all that story. And it seems that this kind of image resemble what happens to each soul, like it is possible before it comes to this world could see something that is going to happen in the future, or some events that could happen. I'm just wondering here, because we forget this when we get a body, but but I'm just wondering if you could say something about this process of incarnation. I think Isaac Luria speaks about it as well.
Yes, the soul doesn't want to go to experience life on earth. The soul doesn't want to. But 40 days, and this is what the law, the Zohar, different Hebrew sources are saying, that 40 days. And now I will, before I'm going to write something, because Fernando is asking to relate to the Zohar, I will ask you permission to move a bit the picture. And since people on YouTube or Nedalia, what is easier for you, if I write on the left to the picture or right to the picture? Because yesterday I noticed there is a reference, or please tell me if it makes any change and I will modify. Thank you. So 40 days before the soul has to manifest in a drop of a man. This is, I translate the Hebrew. It might be rough in English because I don't have a poetic English at the moment. I'm just moving between worlds. So 40 days before a drop is manifested in a man to come to a woman. They speak to the drop and they tell the drop, you will go into this body and you will move through this life. And the soul does not want to go and to descend, but God tells the soul, with me from Lebanon, my bride. You are my bride, the soul, you are my bride. And you are not descending alone to this world. I will accompany you. 40 days. 40 days. It is equal to the letter mem. This is a regular mem or a final mem. Final mem is like a room with 4 walls, no entry. And the soul refuses to descend. She doesn't want to, and she's just being commanded. And then she transcends. She moves through the drop. There is a command on the drop, and the drop goes to manifest in a womb of a woman, and it will become a fetus and later a child. And when the time of the birth is coming, during the course of the fetus in the womb, he sees everything, like this child in a way, from the beginning to the end, because there is no line in the womb, everything is like circle. So it's like Adam, the soul can see everything, but the moment the baby goes out of the womb, comes an angel and opens the baby's mouth. Once he's outside the room, the baby starts to cry with his first breath. Usually babies, when they're being born, they're crying, they make a sound. And once the angel touches his mouth, he cries. And at the moment he cries in our world, he forgets what was before, meaning all what he has been going through in the womb, and not just in the womb of the mother, but his former lifetimes, or former, not just lifetimes, but former higher inner aspect, spiritual forms, or ways that he used to be, or the soul used to be. So once the baby is crying, he is forgetting. And there's an intention of forgetting by letting him cry. Did I answer your question, Fernando?
Yes, it. Thank you. It is beautiful to think about it. Yes.
Yes, the fetus has the ability to see everything in the womb. Like the Bible and the laws describe that the fetus in the womb, there's a candle, a flame of a candle above his head, and he can see from the beginning until the end everything. Yes, this is the situation. And sometimes during the course of our life here, we have like little sin moments, either when we sleep or when we paint or we do something, and like pictures are coming to us, and as children even, and those we don't understand them as children. I used to paint many things that as a child that later in my life become were a reality. I didn't know at the time that I was painting those paintings that it would be a reality, but probably the soul communicates through our hands, through our impressions of colors, through Gobelin. I used to do quite different, how do you say, art forms, and it comes. And as a child, I did not understand why I was attracted to do this and that, why I was attracted to make the clouds in this shape, in this color, in churches. So, because here in Israel there are churches, but not every day we go to the church. Later on in my life, I found myself in those pictures that I was painting as a child. I didn't know that one day I will enter those pictures. The life will lead us to the pictures that we are painting, or we are belonging to be part of. But the soul has its own way to speak to us through art, music, poems, books, dreams, and so on. The soul knows. Look at the child, she knows everything, more than they do. Not as a child, but as a soul.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. questions? Impressions?
Just to point this aspect of the child that is so beautiful in our most high spiritual needs. We always identify ourselves with the child part in us, and if we want to go back to this origin, we must access this innocent will in ourselves.
That's true. That's true. Anyway, we have to cover what the experience that we have, because the experience always tries to tell us this is Eve. Chava is Eve. Chava, Eve. From this we have Chavaya. Chavaya, this is experience. Please correct me if I'm not writing experience. How do I spell? Please help me. EXP. Hello? Hello?
Hello, wait.
Hello.
I'm not the better person to
Just help
say
me.
this.
If you can help me, I should be delighted.
Experience.
Experience.
EXPERIENCE, I guess.
NCE.
N. This is it?
Yes.
Yes.
So our experience tells us many times that, hey, when you were in this and this, such and such happened to you. Sometimes we have burns, and don't go there, and don't because it happened and everything is wrong and it's sinful, and then we think that we know. We think that we know, and we don't try because the former experience is burning, and we stop being those innocent children, or we stop being virgin. How do you say virgin? Virgin, Betula, virgin, Betula. Betula is a virgin. The value of Betula, virgin, in Hebrew is 443, like Bet-El. Bet-El is the house of God. If a person has a trust, Bet-El. If we have trust, we shall always try for good things and new things, not to tell ourselves that we know. This is grace. Always start fresh. Always have the belief that it's gonna be good. Do you understand how everything is like shaping our life like this? If we believe that we shall fail, it's like we believe this serpent curse and so on. But if we have all the time a fresh, we don't think about it, but a fresh breath and a fresh hope for the future, and we do new things and we start fresh all the time, it means we have a trust, and there's a lot of grace coming from trust. But sometimes when we are down, the experience says, I told you, and last time it was not, so never try. That you have to be careful with this experience, very, very careful, very careful. Because experience is not being. Again, experience is Eve, Chava, Chavaya. Also in Aramaic, a serpent is Chivia. It is all the same root. Chivia. Chivia is a serpent in Aramaic. So in order to live good life, we always have to have the notion of Adam, the spirit. Spirit. Okay, experience can be good, can be even, can be not good, but it's not being. Being is always innocent. Question?
Is this like being is like transparent? Like when you say being, like being transparent, like clear, like not hiding, not just fresh projection of who you are in the moment, at that moment, nothing's hidden, just total trust into allowing the present moment to be as it is and not to make it something it's not.
Yes, yes, yes. Not to make something which is not. Very important. Yes. Because if we try to make something, in a way we interfere. And in a way we are like this kind which kills Abel. Just because the being is very innocent.
But I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I know it seems that there is a place, I don't know how else to say it, but the ego. There must be a place of a good aspect of an ego in order to move us forward.
Yes.
Otherwise we stay frozen, right?
We have two, yes, we have two elements. This, what you say, call it ego, the line, the linear, and the innocence, the circle, and the 1 and 0. This is how we walk in life, 1 and 0, 1 and 0. And we combine, because we have this also in the structure of a, how do you say, clock. In a clock we have like, not digital, but the former clock, yes. We have the 0, the circle, and then we have the arms of the clock, the lines, yes? So, the question is, when do we stop? Cain is the one who never stops. But it's good to stop. When we stop, there is a 0. This is why, in a way, the bread is the beginning of civilization.
Yes.
Some people are just running. Maybe in, like, not just some, in certain periods we're just running, think that if we run faster and harder we shall arrive to our target, but this is not it. It's just to walk part of the way and then to rest and contemplate and have a coffee or something, and it is like day and night, summer and winter. This is a person who goes on both of his feet or legs, how we say this. You have to have both. Like we see here in the painting, there's like the Christmas, how do you call it? I don't know, bouquet.
Wreath?
Yes.
Okay.
And, yes, bouquet, and there's on a column. So we have a combination of two. Only when we have both of them, there's a unification. Otherwise it's like person who goes on one leg. If we only resting and doing nothing and waiting for some people, they wait for the government to help them, to donate them. This is no life. If we only just running after targets and without sitting and having it's also how do you say, extreme. We have to have both to move to the target, but also rest, to move with our ideas, but also to contemplate and to reflect and to relate. It is both. Only when we have both, and this is what Rabbi Shimon claims at the Zohar, at the Idra. It cannot be that the world is standing on one foot or one leg or one knot. It cannot be. A world which is standing on one foot will fall. And this is how he starts the Idra, the discussion of the Idra, the great chamber, the great space, the great room. He explains how everything sits on both dimensions, not just one. Something that stands on one foot will fall when it bows. Because even in the word emet in Hebrew, we have 2 feet. The word emet, each letter has touches the ground twice. Here we have 1 foot, another foot. In the mem we have 1 foot, another one, and the tav has 2. This is emet. This is truth. And sheker, lie, has 1 foot here, 1 point here, 1. Everything will fall because it stands on one thing. And Rabbi Shimon says here, how shall we sit in one bond? This is like will fall. Chad samcha in Aramit, one leg. Because it doesn't have a reflection in the higher world. This is what he claims. Everything here that has 1 foot does not have a reflection in the higher realms, in the supernal, in the eternal. This is how it starts. Everything has here, but also there. This is what makes everything true. Yes. Yes?
Just thinking about these numbers, I guess sheker is 600, right?
Yes.
It's interesting this concept of the 6, which we often think about the Vav, the connection, because it is we need this 6, we need this tic-tac, we need all of those aspects of the time passing by, and this is what connects us, the above and the below. But I was thinking just about this progression 5, 6 and 7, and we often think about 5 as this letter He, the potential, and the 7 as the Teshuvah, the Shabbat, the aspect of civilization and sovereign, I guess. But
Yeah.
we have to pass through this 6.
Yes.
It's just, and it's curious because the 5 is this aspect of the infinite.
Yes.
And so one can think, well, how do you go from the infinite, to why did we want to go from the infinite to the manifestation? It's just some thoughts, Eti, because the progression it's going from 1 to to 10, I guess. But in the 5 we already are in infinite. So why move on from the infinite to the 7 to the manifest?
Why do we move from 5 to 7? This is the question.
Yes, and
It's a good question.
yes. Yes. And thinking about that, in the 6 we have to pass through this shaker. We have to we have to be in contact with Nahash.
Yes, the 6 is, yes. You said it. You said in a way, because Sheker, if we write this in this way, this is a lie. But if we rearrange the letters, it's also Kesher. Kesher is a connection or bond. So when we already are far, when we are the 6, it means we have to prepare to go back home, to connect, to bind, to put things together. If we are 6, we're already far. Like, in a way, we are 6, we are in a distance of a 1 from 5, and a distance of a 1 from the 7.
Yes. That's... And Eti, I don't know if there is a connection, a visible connection, but thinking about what you just said, I was remembering something that I wanted to ask.
Yes.
Because you always show us the letter Hey as Dalet and Yod, which give us the potential 14, 1 to 4. And I can't remember where I read or listened, but it was something about that letter Hey is also Dalet and Vav, and
Yes.
so we have the number 10.
Yes.
I think it's kind of related with what we were discussing right now. Would you say something about it?
Yes, yes. The letter Hey, I shall repeat. The letter Hey is usually composed or written by Dalet, as we learn, which is 4, and Yod. The Yod is 10, but we take it as 1. So the Hey is like 1 to 4. This is what we learned so far. But there's another, and I hope that Deb Johnson has a better sound from us now. Thank you, Deb. There's another way to write the Hey with the letter Dalet, but the foot of the Hey is Vav. In this case, we have 4, the Dalet, plus 6, the Vav, and we have 10. Make it straight. and then we have 10. I have to move the board. Excuse me, those who are on YouTube, I have to move the board because I'm at the edge here. And in this way, the letter He is the expression of 10. And now, what Felipe was offering, that the Dalet is like a door. The Dalet is a door. And in the door, when you feel Dalet is also Dala, is very poor. But if we let the 6 go into it, the connection, then we shall have the 10. Did I answer your question, Felipe?
Yes, Eti. And once again, it's interesting because in both cases, we go from the 4, the matter, to the tree of life in both cases.
Yes.
To the infinite. Thank you, Eti. I guess this answer different why we have to go from 5 to the 7.
In a way, we have to
It's
go.
like descending.
Yes.
In a way.
Yes. Yes. We go far in order that we could feel that we are far, and we could return. We have to feel that we are far from the origin. We have to feel that we are like collapsing or feel not right. Then something in us wakes up and we return our back to the origin. Weinreb speaks about it a lot. He speaks about the fact that a person cannot speak to another person or tell him anything. It is what one person feels. It is very intensive communication of a person with the divinity, and we cannot interfere. Yes? Would you like to say something? Questions or thoughts?
Excuse me, Eddie.
Yes.
Would you just please repeat the relationship between Beit El and Betula?
It has the same value.
Mm.
Shall we open this? Would you like us to open it?
Please.
I'm moving to the people on YouTube. I'm moving a bit the board. Maybe here. Here. We shall open it. You are asking about the relationship between a virgin, and Bet El, the house of God. Let's look into it. Okay. Betula is a Virgo, like we have on the zodiac. Is that right? Please correct my English. Virgo or Virgin? How do you call this sign on the zodiac?
Both. It's both.
It's both. Okay, Virgo. Okay, Betula. So let's open and see. Bet is 2. Tav is 400. Vav is 6. Lamed is 30. And He is 5. How much do we have?
443.
443. And now let's look into the name Bet El. the house of God. Bet El, house of God. It's inside of us. It's not something external. Bet is 2. Yod is 10. Tav is 400. This is 412. Is it right? El is 31.
Yeah.
3. So 3, no, 4. Sorry. 3, 4, 4. Do we have it right? Charles?
Yeah, 443.
So, what is the question? In terms of numbers, it has the same value. Yes?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now you're asking, what is the relation between a Virgo and the house of God? Yes?
Yeah.
A person is a Virgo in his heart if he always starts fresh, if he doesn't have former opinion. So he's also a Virgo, but he's also living in the house of God because he's like innocent. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So do you understand what is the relation between the Virgo aspect in us and the house of God in us?
It's in the heart.
It's in the heart. It's in the heart. When we have trust, because yesterday something happened and we don't feel good, something happened and some people are revenging and they hold something grudge in the heart. No, a Virgo aspect always start fresh because in the heart he feels the house of God.
This makes sense with the concept of returning.
Yes.
This makes sense, like why he would say, "Return to me, start fresh."
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
like let go of your load, let go of your accept your truth and like return.
Yes. Yes, this is why very good when we look at the zodiac, if this is spring and this is how do you say a lamb or Aries, this is spring, and this is fall autumn. Here we have Virgin Virgo before Rosh Hashanah, before repent. The Virgo always says start fresh before the Day of Atonement. Start fresh, and then Felipe, we go back to 6 because we have a first month, second month, third month, 4 months, fifth is August or Leo as a sign, and then we come to Virgo. Innocent. Be innocent. We are 6 months from spring. It means we are that far from the origin. 6, turn your direction. And then also the seasons of the year also change their direction. Everything is connected.
Yes, that's really beautiful. Thinking about those cycles of 12, because in a way, when you are in astrology, for instance, the 7th house is like the opposite of the first. It's like a beginning from the other aspect, other point of view, and that's beautiful about Virgo and the 6. Thank you. I never had made this relation. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, it's true. The 1 or the 7th month is against the first month. Yes, this is right. I would like to read for all of us. There are two comments, if I may. Thank you, Felipe and Kevin and Charles and Jill and Fernando. There is a comment here that Victoria is writing. I would like to share with you. This is off topic. I found some teachings from Weinreb, and his accent reminds me of my believing grandmother, which went out from Germany before the war to cultivate the land in Russia, Volga. They had to flee from there to Kazakhstan from Stalin persecution, where I was born. And now we are back in Germany, and I try to find out if maybe we could have Jewish roots. It would be nice. Two smiles. Thank you, Victoria, for sharing with us your moments.
Thank you. That's beautiful. That's a powerful story.
This is why, and I thank you for sharing. This is why, Felipe, we have two kinds of counting. This is the, how do you say, argument in the Talmud, and from which side do we count? From spring, or from autumn, or from fall? So there is one counting that starts at spring as free people. Spring is always tree of life, like free people. This is freedom. And there is another counting at fall. So Moses gave them a new calendar of free people, which starts at spring. But the birth of Adam and the fall, in a way, starts in the autumn, and then we have like two kinds of beginnings. So we see already here we have two perspectives. And the more we shall go into the studies, we shall see more and more perspective. This is one. So we can look in a way at April or Nisan. Nisan, how do you say? Nisan. Nisan is the first spring. This is the Moses gave them the calendar of free people. But if we count it from the birth of Adam and Eve, this is the seventh. Felipe, as you noticed, 1 is 7 and 7 is the 1. You see? I hope I made it clear. I'm not sure.
Yes, it is. It may it give us a lot to think. This opposite perspectives, which in a way we can think about the same thing in different order.
Yes.
Like two sides of a coin.
Yes. We can think also in a wider perspective. What is the perspective of a bird? What is the perspective of a deer? What is the perspective of a butterfly? How a butterfly experiences the world. And in a way, if we can look through their perspectives, in a way we undress ourselves from our body, or how we perceive our body, and we can, go and not experience, but move through different perspectives. And while we move through different perspectives, we don't develop attachment. What people usually do is during the course of time, they develop attachment. This is who I am, this is my experience, this is my home, this is my culture. In this hour, we hear only this music. In this day, we only eat this food. But if we shift perspectives, everything is possible. And the more we shift perspectives, we discover how everything is open, and we can be very creative when everything is open. First of all, we have hope and happiness. We have clear horizon, and this is very important. Thank you. There is a message by Nadalia on YouTube. I hope you can read it. Thank you, Nadalia. Questions or thoughts?
Just to thank you, Ati, and friends, Kevin, Jill, Charles, Fernando, thank you. Thank you,
Thank
friends.
you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for participating in the conversation. Thank you for participating in writing on YouTube. Thank you so much. We would like to wish you a beautiful life, and I hope we can meet here tomorrow at the same time. Toda and shalom.
Shalom.
Toda Rabba Eti. Shalom,
Shalom.
friends.
Shalom, shalom.